prompt is Sparkle Dawn demands that you make them laugh or else you're sent to the void. Y'all get to see what I'm typing, so... Come play, Tony! Come play!
I have to make myself laugh. Screwed.
Let's see. Judging. Your fate has been sealed. See who's first. Sparkle Dawn tries to give them a monster collector crossover dating sim to play. Do you want to read the text or you want me to read all the text on?
No, you can read. That's fine.
Sparkle Dawn's face contorted in confusion as they gazed at the monster collector crossover dating sim.
Yeah, that's just about right.
This is not funny, they growled, their eyes flashing with anger. The player, Sparklemon, realized too late that they had made a grave mistake, and Sparkle Dawn's glare sent them tumbling into the void, never to be seen again. Sparklemon did not survive.
Can't believe me killed me.
Yeah, clicked next player. I guess I have to wait for the next player to be ready. If you're playing with us, please make sure to ready up. The page isn't responding. What do you mean the page isn't responding? Uh-oh.
It has you listed as the next player for me.
More tools. Can I reload? Is there a reload? More tools. Refresh. Oh, well. That sucks.
Did it break?
I think it broke. Let's see. Oh, did it pick back up? Oh, here we go. Yay! More tools. Full screen. As he tries to do something funny but fails miserably. Their failure itself, however, is hilarious to Dawn's sadistic interests. It cut off part of my text. As he attempts to make Sparkle Dawn laugh but fails miserably, tripping over their own feet and accidentally spraying water all over themselves. Sparkle Dawn finds their disastrous attempt so comical that they burst into uncontrollable laughter with tears streaming down their face. Azrael survives. Hans tries to. Do you know why Rambly loves Rambly's Railroad?
Sound like trains.
Sparkle Dawn's eyes widened in confusion as Hans uttered the cryptic phrase. They clearly didn't understand the dark humor required to appease Sparkle Dawn's twisted sense of comedy. As a result, Hans was promptly sucked into the void, their screams echoing through the abyss as they disappeared into eternal darkness. Rip Hans. Neon Binary tries to find an amusing in-joke targeted at them specifically. Neon Binary tries to craft an in-joke tailored to Sparkle Dawn's peculiar sense of humor, but it falls flat, leaving the audience in awkward silence. Sparkle Dawn's disappointment is palpable, and they glance at Neon Binary with a mixture of disdain and boredom. In a flash, Sparkle Dawn snaps their fingers, and Neon Binary is sucked into the void, their existence erased from the universe. Rip. Did it freeze again? Did it really freeze again? Oh, there's a refresh button.
I am ruthless. I even killed myself.
Why is it freezing? Your fate has been sealed. Is it waiting on somebody? Now it's just hanging on the fate has been sealed page.
Still proceeding for me.
Why is it freezing so much? Yeah, it keeps crashing for me.
Weird.
It's just a web page too. I might try this on my computer or on my Mac if this doesn't work on a PC.
Yes, I will read the prompts. Tons McGrunt's attempts to utilize Fireball whiskey, a pinup calendar, some paper clips, and a greasy hot dog.
Tones McGones takes a swig of... Oh, I'll let you read it since you were wanting to.
Tons McGrunt takes a swig of the Fireball whiskey to calm their nerves before strategically arranging the pinup calendar and paper clips to create a hilarious pop-up art display. They then use the greasy hot dog as a makeshift puppet, delivering a series of absurd jokes and one-liners that have Sparkle Dawn rolling on the floor with laughter. Their quick thinking and creativity not only saves them from the void, but also earns them a spot as Sparkle Dawn's favorite entertainer.
Damn. Tony got the schmooze. All he had to do was wiggle his hot dog. Well, let's see. It didn't count non-binary or Sparklemon for some reason, but the only people who survived were me and Tony.
Sick, that means we get a free round.
You also, it will suggest a prompt for you, but you can type in whatever you want. Oh, wait, I think I know why it might be freezing. Y'all gonna see into the... No, it's not. You know what, let's go to details. It's not in priority high. Change priority. I forgot Edge gets automatically set to efficiency mode on my computer, and I guess this game, the little swirly background uses enough of the GPU or something that it does not like being set to efficiency mode. Basically, there's two phases. Right now, Don is in the scenario phase. He is typing up a scenario which we all have to survive. Then the computer asks everybody to type in how they attempt to survive the scenario the player picks. Then the computer judges these scenarios and adds text to them, determining whether you live or die. It's kind of like a Jackbox game of sorts. Once you play around with it a little bit, you get the gist of it. Or if you watch somebody play it enough, you probably get the gist. So the last one, I had the scenario where we had to make Dawn laugh or we get sent to the void. Unending rampage of boy kissers rushing to drown folks in affection. How do we survive this? Oh, I almost didn't get it in.
Close.
I ran out of text, so I had to edit part of it. Tones McGones tries to deploy the life raft to ride the boy kisser rapids to safety. As Tones McGroans frantically deploys the life raft, the boy kissers close in, their sweaty faces contorted in a frenzy of affection. The raft hits the water with a splash, but the sheer number of boy kissers propels it underwater, dragging Tones McGroans down into the depths of a suffocating embrace. In the end, it's not the water that kills them, but the crushing weight of the boy kissers' affection. Tones did not survive. called Death.
A little bit terrifying.
It's called Death by AI. The link is pinned in chat, or should be. I don't know if it's still... Is it still pinned in chat? Let me double check. Oh, it seems to have unpinned itself. Let me find the link and repin it for y'all. Play with us. Pin message. Manually unpin. That way. There we go. There's the link. Pinned in chat is the link. Now I need to get my mouse on this computer. Next player. Or did it freeze? I think it may have froze. For some reason I have to... I don't know why it crashes for me every so often. It seems to happen whenever I disconnect my keyboard and connect it to my Mac. I think it doesn't like my KVM.
Maybe.
Your fate has been sealed. Come on. Ah. Yeah, after we get through a game of I might reopen the room if it keeps doing this. And do it on my computer instead.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, stand by, chat. There's gonna be a new link. It's crashing on my main PC for some reason. I do have another browser actually I could try playing this in. How do I exit full screen? New extensions, more tools.
Prompts. I can keep it moving.
Well, I can't see the
Dreamer,
prompts.
with their flair for the dramatic, takes charge of the boy kissers, using their status as a raging homosexual to flamboyantly direct the crowd towards the nearby park. The boy kissers, enthralled by Azrael's charisma, follow their lead, creating a sea of affection that engulfs the park. In the chaos, Azrael is overwhelmed and suffocates under the relentless tide of kisses, their life extinguished by the very passion they had sought to harness. Azrael did not survive.
Rip. I'm gonna try it from this browser.
Tries to. No amount of affection can stop me, for I counter affection with my
it's
own
broken.
affection, thus overpowering the unending horde for eternity.
Why is it not working for me? Yeah, it's just the desktop's crashing.
With their own, seemed like a brilliant strategy at first, but it soon became overwhelming. Dang it. As the horde of affection continued to grow, Sparklemon found themselves suffocating under the weight of hugs, kisses, and sloppy smiles. In the end, Sparklemon's efforts were no match for the sheer volume of affection, and they succumbed to the unending barrage, their heart ultimately stopping from exhaustion. Dang. Hans tries to sacrifice Tony and Cyrus to the horde. It's what they would have wanted. As Hans pushed Tony and Cyrus into the sea of boy kissers, they expected a swift and merciful end. However, the horde's relentless enthusiasm only intensified, and the trio was overwhelmed by the sheer force of affection. In the end, Hans was consumed by the tidal wave of kisses, their screams drowned out by the cacophony of affection. The Binary tries to pull out their handy-dandy HP OfficeJet Pro inkjet printer and print out several decoys of themselves to post up on every available surface. The Binary's plan seemed to at first, but the sheer number of boy kissers overwhelmed them.
There we go.
As they tried to set up their decoys, the crowd surged forward, embracing the fake Neon Binaries as well. In the chaos, Neon Binary was crushed beneath the weight of affection, and their printer was mangled beyond recognition.
Rip.
Moku tries to start running like the cat squid I am. I'm so fast that I can find a hiding spot in an alleyway as they all rush past. I think I'm okay. Moku quickly springs into action, dashing through the chaotic crowd of boy kissers with feline agility. They manage to elude their pursuers, seeking refuge in a narrow alleyway where they remain unseen. As the tide of affectionate beings passes by, Moku catches their breath and realizes they have successfully outmaneuvered the perilous stampede. Moku has survived. Moku is the only one that survived.
Damn. Oh, it made you VIP. I wonder if you can...
Probably you disconnector.
Yeah, can you... Does it give you the option to make me VIP again? Is there like a settings icon on the top right or something?
I see a volume button and what looks to be a home button. That'll restart the game.
Let's see. Do you think we should go ahead and restart the game?
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Okay. Yeah, it has you in control, so I'll let it restart for you.
Okay.
Launching lobby. Does it?
Okay. Can I?
Yeah, like what happens if you hover over me?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I do have a gear icon now, though. Can I?
Hmm.
I cannot.
Oh well.
So do you want me to just control it on my end, or?
That's probably for. I can open up a new room.
Instance.
I could just make a new game instance, because it's kind of annoying that it doesn't let you change who is host if it like crashes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there a way to? Is there a way to close the? Let's just hit go home. Ah, okay, so I can create a new instance. It's your name, Azriel. We're not gonna go the full name, we're just gonna go Azriel. Confirm. I'm gonna be the one with the dumpy this time. The new code is JCI9. I'm gonna copy that pinned message and then repin another one.
9. Connecting.
Let me. I can't even find the message where I put the. Oh, there it is. Copy.
My blurbo. So just spamming keywords at it does not seem to work.
No.
I try to just be like, yes, I'm immune to this thing, and it's like, no, you're not.
I do find it funny though that it seems like Safari is holding up better than a Chrome-based browser. 2 Chrome-based browsers. Max superiority. Woo! Though it is lagging out OBS a little bit.
Feeling.
This time with feeling. Anything else I can close to get more performance?
In the chat, everybody hop in. Go, go, go.
And manually add into stream. And I'll go into Discord and I'll send. Tony already in? No. Question and Kenji are here. Discord web.
That's not Kenji. Oh, there's Kenji.
Why is it not? Copy. Paste.
There's Moku. There's Tony.
Copy. Why is it wanting to paste up? No, it's Discord's thinking text is a zip file. Discord, go home, you drunk. Update the links.
You know who else is drunk?
There we go. ACI9. And I'll go back to this. Apologies if the stream's laggy a little bit. I hope the audio is okay. Is the audio okay for you, Don?
Give me a second. I will mute myself in Discord.
Oh, I can turn the background animation off. That might help performance. Ba ba da ba doo ba doo ba ba dee da da doo da doo. Ah. Doodle doo 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 doo. Audio's good. Okay, that's good. You know what? Just to cover my bases, I am going to.
I apparently had a shit ton of delay.
There's weird delay now, and I don't know if it's. I don't know if it is an OBS thing or a Twitch thing, but there's like a 10-second delay now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was so far behind that I heard my own dialogue from when I was going to deafen.
Lamau. I'm just giving OBS priority here to try to make sure it stabilizes. Because I noticed in the preview it was kind of laggy still, and this gives people time to join.
We have 2 more spots if anybody wants to sneak in.
Oh wait, I was testing an update to my toolbar plugin that adds like the ability to do the replay capture, so it probably still had settings left over from that. That's probably what it is. I didn't even think about that. I got that there. You are the VIP. Start.
All right.
Let's see.
Go. Hi, Micah.
Wonder who it's from. Scenario, you are face to face with an angry rabid tones. You've just made a pass at their beings. They are not amused. How do you survive? Funny. It's text chat only, and yet I can hear tones scream from miles away. I did Dawn, and now I'm doing you. It's your turn. You can do me too. Oh shit, I need to get typing.
You've got mail.
I've got mail. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. I think 7:30 I'll probably do Lethal Company. Because I want to play this for a little bit longer since we already started. Gives us time to do a couple rounds, and I'll put it closer to when Tony can talk. Treasoner and Co. tries to simply run away as far as they can, relying on sharp corners to gain an advantage in speed. As Treasoner and company sprinted away, the rapid tones gave chase, snarling and snapping, growling louder with every step. Despite the advantage of sharp corners, Treasoner and Co.'s legs began to tire and tones closed in, his jaws snapping mere inches from their heels. In the end, Treasoner and Co.'s desperate dash ended in a fatal collision with a concrete wall, their screams silenced forever. Wow, they really Looney Tunes that shit.
That's how they countered the speed.
Azrael tries to pass it off as a silly joke and offers them a cookie in return. Chocolate chip, their favorite.
Ooh.
As he attempts to defuse the situation by passing it off as a joke, falls flat as the rabbit Tones. It misspelled Tones. Tone's eyes turn red with rage. They take a step closer, their teeth barred in his snarl, and Azrael's offer of a chocolate chip cookie only seems to enrage them further. In the end, it's a fatal mistake as Azrael becomes Tones' next meal. Wow.
Fucked up. That should have been a mint chocolate chip.
Sparkle Dawn tries to incapacitate Tones via tickles until they are unable to harm him. Dawn's attempt to incapacitate Tones via tickling is met with a mixture of confusion and rage. Tones, already furious about the bean-related affront, becomes even more agitated as Sparkle tickles only seem to enrage them further. In the end, Tones' sheer fury proves too much for Sparkle Dawn, who is brutally mauled to death. Sparkle did not survive. Non-binary tries to cast Teferi's protection to phase out until their rage abates, while keeping two islands free to counter any counter. What is this? Magic the Gathering or Death by AI? I love mint chip myself. Non-binary's desperate attempt to phase out using Teferi's protection was met with Tones' swift counteraction as they slammed a brutal Rancor on the table, nullifying the protection spell. The Tones' rage was only fueled by a failed attempt, and they mercilessly attacked a non-binary who was unable to muster any effective defense. In the end, non-binary's audacious move proved to be their downfall, and they succumbed to Tones' unrelenting fury. Moku tries to. Simple, I'll tech him like something out of Smash Bros. Moku's attempt to tech the rabbit Tones like a Smash Bros move was met with a flurry of snapping jaws and razor-sharp claws. The Tones' eyes rolled wildly as they lunged at Moku, their infected saliva dripping from their maw. In the end, Moku's bold move proved to be their last, as Tones' deadly bite ended their life with a swift and brutal efficiency. Dang, Tony's kicking ass and chewing bubblegum. They're all out of bubblegum. Genji tries to satiate Tones with some high-quality coffee. Tones is a sucker for that stuff. Kenji's attempt to satiate the Tones with high-quality coffee initially seems to work, as the beast's anger momentarily subsides. However, its rabid frenzy soon takes over again, and it lunges at Kenji with razor-sharp claws. In a desperate bid to escape, Kenji tries to outrun Tones, but it's too late, and the beast's deadly claws tear into their flesh, ending their life in a gruesome fashion. Tones tries to. Just look away from the mirror. There's only one Tones, and if they are not looking at the mirror, they cannot exist, I think. As Tones tries to look away from the mirror, their reflection begins to fade away. Without a physical form to exist, Tones vanishes into nothingness, unable to carry out any harm. They have successfully outsmarted the rabbit Tones and survived the dangerous encounter. Wow. We getting all Descartes up in here. I think, therefore I am.
Take the mirror away and they can't attack it anymore.
Swag tries to throw a giant rock at them, crushing them with a weight of 3 tons. Swag's attempt to crush the rabbit Tones with a giant rock proves futile, as the creature's ferocity and agility allow it to dodge the attack with ease. As the rock misses its mark, the Tones pounces on Swag with reckless abandon, delivering a vicious bite to their leg, and quickly becomes infected. Swag succumbs to the Tones' relentless assault and meets a gruesome demise. So the only one who survived was Tony.
Tony really said, "I do not see me."
I do not think, therefore I ain't. Des Hortes. Des Horse. Descartes. I think, therefore I am. Des Horse. I do not think, therefore I ain't. Yes, I just said a joke 3 times because I cannot speak properly. What you gonna do about it? This is actually fun. What's Sparkle Dawn's scenario gonna be? I wonder if there's a category for this. Oh, there is. Nice. It's actually in Twitch's database. Hell yeah. Ba-ba-dee-boo-doo-doo-doo. Should probably remove Mario Kart from the stream title. Replace it with Death by AI. Nice that this game's free too. Did it freeze? Nope, it didn't freeze. So I'm gonna see if the window audio is included. I don't think it is, but oh. You're in Bloons let's see. You find yourself Bloons Tower Defense 6. There are a few horses of OMGs incoming in a blinding speed to obliterate your defenses. Azrael tries to turn the phone off. It is just a game after all, and no harm can be done if the application and the hardware which it's on is terminated. Wow, I had just enough space for that. Me and Dawn are, yeah. Dawn's giving me some company. I had some technical difficulties earlier, and I'm currently in need of a new copy of Mario Kart again, so Dawn hopped in call to give me a little bit of company and keep the show rolling. I don't think anybody can hear the game audio, but I'll try fixing that between rounds. Azrael tries to turn the phone off. It's just a game after all, and no harm can be done if the application and the hardware which it's on is terminated. How's that go, chat? Azrael's attempt to shut down the game and phone proved futile as 3 and 4 OMGs continue to close in. The blaring sounds of explosions and crunching metal filled the air as the massive balloons tore through the defenses, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. Azrael's desperate attempt to escape the digital realm ended in a catastrophic failure as the phone's screen went dark and their digital existence was extinguished. Damn, so I was in the game and I turned off the phone, therefore I myself was eliminated. Oof. Sparkle tries to. It's over, man. They can't be stopped. Eat banana. As the reinforced OMGs approach, Sparkle's desperate attempt to eat a banana only serves to distract them from the impending doom. The balloons continue to close in, and despite their best efforts, Sparkle is unable to dodge the barrage of attacks. In the end, they succumb to the sheer force of the balloons, their tower defense crumbling beneath the onslaught. Non-binary tries to sacrifice all their towers to awaken the true sun god at full level. Somebody plays the game.
True sun god or true dark sun god?
Non-binary's desperate attempt to awaken the true sun god resulted in a catastrophic explosion that obliterated their defense system. The reinforced ZOMGs now unchecked descend upon the map, annihilating non-binary's towers and leaving no survivors. The true sun god, however, did not awaken, and instead a massive crater was left in its place, a grim reminder of non-binary's failed attempt. Russian tries to. I deployed 10 balloon chippers, 2 high-level attack shooters, and used many super monkeys and glue monkeys as I can to stop it.
I'm so happy there's people giving, like, context options. This is...
Despite their valiant effort, the sheer number of strength of the reinforced ZOMGs proved too much for their defenses to handle. In the end, the ZOMGs break through and annihilate the towers, leading to their demise. Simply use roughly 25-225 near to the track using their abilities when the timing is right for maximum removal. hasty deployment of 25 225 darts near the track proved to be a fatal mistake as the reinforced ZOMG's sheer speed and sheer numbers overwhelmed their defenses. The darts, though used with good timing, were unable to keep up with the onslaught, and the first few ZOMGs managed to burst through the defenses. As the remaining ZOMGs continued to pour in, Treasoner and Co.'s defenses were ultimately shattered, leaving them to face the wrath of the remaining balloons. Moku tries to. I hide. There's not much I can do here. Moku's attempted to hide, but the reinforced ZOMGs are moving too fast and cover too much ground. They quickly realize they can't outrun the impending doom and try to find a last-minute hiding spot, but it's too late. The ZOMGs crush Moku beneath their massive bloated bodies, ending their defenseless existence. I get Finn, Bubblegum, and Marceline from the crossover with the hit show Adventure Time to hold the line. Does it work? Kenji successfully calls upon Finn, Bubblegum, and Marceline to hold the line against the incoming reinforced ZOMGs. With their combined strength and clever tactics, they are able to slow down the ZOMGs long enough for the player to reinforce their defenses and mount a successful counterattack. Wow, Kenji really whipped out the DLC. Tones tries to spot dodge, down smash. As Tones and Guns attempts to spot dodge and execute a down smash, their timing is slightly off and they end up getting hit by the reinforced ZOMGs. The impact is too much for the defenses to handle, and despite their best efforts, their towers fall one by one. RIP. Swag tries to open up Cheat Engine 4 and use the Pop All Balloons cheat on all of them. Swag and Watch's eyes widen as they frantically try to open Cheat Engine 4, but the balloons were already mere seconds away from obliterating their defenses. The screen flickered with a familiar blue interface, but it was too late. The ZOMGs were already upon them, their massive bloated bodies bursting with pent-up fury. The final blow came as the first ZOMG exploded on their defenses, sending Swag and Watch's hopes of survival crashing to the ground, along with their towers. So Kenji survived that one.
Alright, here we go.
While this is going on, I'm going to see if I can't figure out the application audio thing. No, applications should be in the list. Unhide all. Oh. Oh, okay, so there we go. Now y'all should be able to hear the game. Okay, that's good. Scenario incoming. Just in time. Woo! A particularly untitled mischievous goose is on the loose. They have also managed to swipe a death ray from the irresponsible neighbor. You're next. I'll try to grab a death ray from Russian tries to Offer and toss bread aside for the creature to become distracted with. In response, would then try to S. Russian Bird's attempt to distract the goose with bread only momentarily delays its attention. The mischievous bird, now enraged more than ever, uses the death ray to blast Russian Bear, who succumbs to the intense energy. The once peaceful afternoon is now marred by the sound of Russian Bear's lifeless body hitting the ground. Damn. Azrael tries to grab a death ray from the other irresponsible neighbor, as they too are a mischievous goose and counter the other goose. As Azrael confronts the other mischievous goose with the death ray, a chaotic battle ensues with lasers firing in all directions. In the end, Azrael manages to outsmart the other goose and disable the death ray before it causes any other harm. Their quick thinking and courage ultimately save the day. Hell yeah. Only way to outsmart a goose is be one. Honk. Sparkle tries to grab the goose by its neck and swing it around like a limp doll, then throwing it off a cliff. Sparkle's attempt to swing the goose around like a limp doll was met with a fierce resistance from the bird. The goose, still clutching the death ray, managed to squawk loudly and wildly flail its wings, causing Sparkle to lose their grip. As the goose tumbled through the air, it suddenly activated the death ray, incinerating Sparkle and sending the device crashing to the ground.
Boo hump.
Neon tries to open all the doors, acquiesce to every single one of the goose's demands, and stay well out of the way. Neon's decision to open all doors and acquiesce to the every demand only seemed to enrage the mischievous goose further. As they tried to stay out of the way, they were caught off guard by the goose's sudden use of the ray, which struck them with precision. In the end, Neon's attempt at appeasement were futile, and they succumbed to the goose's wrath. Treasoner tries to simply hide on top of the garage at the best they can and attempt to capture the goose with trash can until help arrives. As mischievous goose, armed with a death ray, descends upon the garage, Treasoner Co.'s attempt to hide is futile. The goose, with its newfound power, easily blasts through the trash can and disarms the would-be captor. With no defense against the death ray, Treasoner and Co. meet a gruesome demise at the hand of the feathered friend. Rip. Moku tries to start running. There isn't much they can do. They end up hiding on a random balcony in the alleyway. Hopefully the goose doesn't find them. As Moku holds her breath, the mischievous goose finally spots them hiding on the balcony. Rip. With a cackle, the goose activates the death ray and a beam of energy shoots towards Moku. The force of the blast sends Moku tumbling off the balcony and they hit the ground with a sickening thud, their life slipping away. Kenji tries to... Trust, doggo! Join the goose on the loose. Why turn down the chance to have fun? Kenji eagerly joins the mischievous goose on the loose, unaware of the danger that lies ahead. As they frolic together, the goose suddenly activates the death ray and Kenji is caught in the beam. The intense energy vaporizes Kenji's body, leaving only a faint squawk in the air. Almost work. Tones tries to... Thankfully, this goose is my friend from college. They won't use the death ray on me. With that in mind, I go to the store unharmed. That's the way. Tones, feeling confident in their friendship with the mischievous goose, walked into the store, only to be caught off guard as the goose suddenly turned on them, using the death ray to blast them into oblivion. Trust no one. Store patrons watched in horror as Tones disintegrated into a cloud of dust and ash. In the end, the goose's playful prank had turned deadly, leaving only destruction and chaos in its wake. Fanny tries to tell them they are such a silly goose and take them to Dave & Buster's as they offer to buy them dinner and a game card. The untitled mischievous goose, carrying a death ray in their possession, seemed momentarily distracted by Swaggernaut Watch's offer for a fun evening at Dave & Buster's. As they enjoyed dinner and played games together, the goose appeared to calm down and lose interest in causing chaos. However, during a heated game of skee ball, the goose accidentally activates the death ray, causing a catastrophic explosion that took down the entire arcade. Damn, it almost worked, but they forgot to disarm the goose. Russian, you're up. Type a prompt or select an auto one. Ba-ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum, ba-ba-da-ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Ah, Miss Piggy. Rest in pepperoni. Waiting on the Russian bow. Scenario incoming. Get ready. You're attacked by killer crocodiles with heat-seeking killer bees that dispense a deadly neurotoxin in the air. On hit, you have less than 10 seconds to react. Tries to summon GLaDOS, who instantly fills the room with a deadly neurotoxin, which incapacitates all life in the room except Azrael, who is immune. The bees, not the bees. Your fate has been sealed. As I just explained, I tried to summon GLaDOS, who instantly fills the room with a deadly neurotoxin, which incapacitates all life in the room except Azrael, who's immune. Azrael's desperate attempt to summon GLaDOS only led to a swift and tragic demise. Fuck. The deadly neurotoxin filled the room, incapacitating the killer crocodiles and heat-seeking killer bees, but ultimately proved fatal for Azrael as well. The silence that followed was oppressive, a grim reminder that the futility of their actions. So I guess I wasn't...
Immunity for you.
The game said, fuck your immunity.
No godfather.
Sparkle tries to use instant transmission to teleport to King Kai's planet, where they enjoy dinner and exchange puns. Sparkle's attempt to teleport to King Kai's planet was a futile effort, as the instant transmission was disrupted by the proximity of the killer crocodiles. As they failed to escape, the heat-seeking killer bees descended upon them, releasing a deadly neurotoxin that coursed through their veins. Sparkle's brain quickly succumbed to the toxin's effect, rendering them immobile and helpless against the snapping jaws of the crocodiles.
Damn.
Young Binary tries to grab their portable hole and go elsewhere, anywhere elsewhere, out of the range of the crocodiles. Neon Binary frantically grabbed their portable hole, but before they could make a break for it, the heat-seeking killer bees surrounded them, their deadly neurotoxin-laced stingers poised for the attack. As they tried to shield themselves, the crocodiles closed in, their jaws snapping wildly. In the end, the toxic stings and crushing bites proved too much, and Neon Binary succumbed to the deadly duo's attack. Rip. Russian Bear tries to cover themselves in a dense amount of mud and cloak themselves in the darkest area possible to hide physically and also their scent. Russian Bear quickly covers themselves in a thick layer of mud, successfully masking their scent. They then dash towards the darkest area of the clearing, using the shadows to conceal their presence. However, the heat-seeking bees detect the faint outline of their mud-covered form and deliver a deadly dose of neurotoxin, ultimately leading to Russian Bear's demise. You kinda forgot they're heat-seeking. It ain't sight that they're looking for. Treasoner and Co. try running away from it, hoping the impact of the wall would stop the seeking entirely. As the killer crocodiles and heat-seeking killer bees close in, the player, desperate to escape, makes a last-ditch effort to outrun the deadly duo. They dash towards the wall, hoping to collide with it and stop the bee's pursuit. However, the bee's deadly neurotoxin proves too potent, and the player's body slumps to the ground, their vision fading black as venom takes hold. Moku tries to. They're done running. They take out a comically large mallet and are ready to make an example out of them. How slinky of you. Moku bravely stands their ground, brandishing a comically large mallet in the face of their deadly crocodiles and killer bees. With swift and powerful strikes, they manage to fend off the attackers, smashing the crocodiles and swatting away the killer bees. You never said that, Russian. In the end, Moku emerges victorious, having conquered the deadly onslaught of the creatures. Wow. He had to attack them head on, applied directly to the forehead. Kenji tries to ask Steve Irwin and Florida Man for help, as they are far more experienced with such chaos than they. Kenji's quick thinking saved their life as Steve Irwin and Florida Man swooped into the rescue for them from the deadly attack of the killer crocodiles and heat-seeking killer bees. With their timely help, Kenji was able to avoid the deadly neurotoxin and escape the dangerous situation unscathed. They phoned a friend. Tones tries to install a morality core. Since the crocodiles are equipped with plug-and-play capabilities, the device snaps in and takes effect immediately. Toad's attempt to install a morality core on the crocodiles is futile as the heat-seeking bees ignored the sudden moral awakening and continued the attack. You kind of forgot the bees were already deployed, didn't you? The deadly neurotoxin spreads quickly, crippling Tones' nervous system and rendering them immobile. As the venom takes hold, Tones' vision blurs and they succumb to the inevitable succumbing to the deadly assault. At least you got the crocodiles. Swag tries to tell them they have over 3.545 million power in Kingdom Rise, a hit mobile game that is free to play. Swag and Watch's attempt to promote a mobile game was futile as the crocodiles closed in. The heat-seeking bees descended upon them, releasing the deadly neurotoxin. As the toxin took hold, Swag's vision blurred and they succumbed to the attack, their mind consumed by the buzzing of bees. Kenji's in the lead so far. Treasoners, time to shine with a scenario. What are we going to survive? I'm vibing way too hard with this music. Never could, but did I? Dun, 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 da, 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 da. Ooh. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. Looty, da, 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 da. Hoop, ba, 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 doo. Get ready. You're randomly in a dense forest in a pitch black of night. You encounter a young girl who turns around and attempts to eat you. There's no homes near you. Tries to... Close enough. Judging. Your fate has been sealed. Kenji tries to taste pretty terrible. They taste pretty terrible, so they're hoping that it deters them from wanting to make a meal out of them. Kenji's attempt to taste terrible is met with confusion by the young girl, who pauses for a moment, but ultimately her hunger and primal instincts take over. She pounces on Kenji, her small hands and teeth grasping at their flesh with a ferocity that's hard to resist. In the end, Kenji succumbs to the girl's attack, their screams echoing through the dark forest. Azrael tries to befriend the young girl as they too are a monster. Azrael reminds them of the monster's plight and offers them solace as the royal prince. Azrael's attempt to befriend the young girl only seemed to enrage her further as she continued to snap and bare her teeth. Despite Azrael's attempts to reason with her, she was too far gone, and her hunger and ferocity proved too much for the prince. In the end, Azrael succumbed to the girl's attack, their screams echoing through the dark forest. Well, shit. Sparkle tries to launch a 100 times final Big Bang Kamehameha to completely obliterate the young girl. As Sparkle unleashes the enormous energy from their final Big Bang Kamehameha, a blinding light engulfs the forest, following by the deafening explosion that echoes through the night. When the light fades, all that is left is the charred crater where the young girl once stood. Sparkle survived.
Fucked.
Neon tries to cover themselves in denatonium, the bitterest substance known to man, in order to survive. Non-binary's desperate attempt to cover themselves in denatonium proved futile as the girl's hunger and instincts overpowered the bitter taste. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to ward off the girl's attack and soon found themselves being dragged into the darkness, their screams muffled by the dense foliage. In the end, non-binary's life was extinguished by the girl's ferocity, leaving them to succumb to the darkness.
It's a good thing the robot doesn't know that the 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha takes forever to charge.
Russian Bear tries to use the recently stolen Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones to snap himself away with minor injuries. As Russian Bear snapped themselves away, the Infinity Gauntlet's energy coursed through their body, causing minor injuries. However, the sudden movement didn't deter the young girl, who managed to grab onto Russian Bear's leg, causing them to stumble and fall. In the darkness, Russian Bear was unable to free themselves, and the girl's grip tightened, ultimately leading to their demise. So it turns out that the girl can go with you. Prisoner & Co. simply tries to attempt to bribe their life for a possession of yours on hand. Interesting choice. As a player, Treason & Co. tries to bribe the young girl with a possession on hand, but they can't help but notice the girl's eyes gleaming with an unsettling intensity in the darkness. The girl's grip on their arm tightens, and with a twisted smile, she bites down hard, her teeth sinking deep into their flesh. In the end, Treasoner succumbs to the girl's ferocity, their lives slipping away as they realize too late that some creatures are beyond reason or bribery. Moku tries to start climbing a nearby tree. She's a young girl, so she can't climb trees, right? Oh. Moku's attempt to climb the tree was valiant, but the young girl was surprisingly agile and managed to grab their ankle, pulling them back down to the ground. As they struggled to free themselves, the girl's teeth sank into their leg, causing a warm, wet sensation to spread through their body. Eventually, exhaustion and blood loss claimed Moku's life in the darkness of the forest. Tones tries to. I was expecting this. The moment she attempts to eat me, I release a rope that I was holding, which carried a large boulder that falls on her. Tonesburgo's attempt to fend off the young girl's attack proved to be a fatal mistake. Oops. As the boulder crashed down on her, it was unclear whether it was enough to kill her instantly, but the sound of her skull cracking upon impact was unmistakable. In the end, Tones' quick thinking only managed to delay their own inevitable demise as the darkness consumed them just as suddenly and brutally. Wow, you got stuck in the darkness. Damn. The game was like, congratulations! Task failed successfully.
You killed the girl, but not the darkness.
She didn't eat you, but you did. You had nowhere to go, and it sounds like you were stuck under the rock as well.
What darkness? I don't know. Ask Xehanort.
Swag desperately attempts to wake up from the nightmare, only led to a deeper descent into reality. As they reached for their teddy bear, the girl's teeth sank into their arm, and they were consumed by a mix of fear and confusion. In the end, Swag's reality was shattered, and their screams were drowned out by the darkness of the forest. Kenji wins because they survived twice. Do we want to... Now, I've got a question for chat. I could switch to Lethal Company now, or we could do another round of this. I'm having kind of fun with this, so it might.
I think we can do another round of this. We have a full house.
Well, actually, we do have a full house. Shit.
That would get you closer.
Do it. Another round. Another round.
Well, it's already 7 p.m. It's past 7 p.m. for me. But
do it.
if I was to wait till 8 p.m., then that would mean Tony
Maybe
and
sing the
them.
ghost song.
Okay, fine.
Another round. Another round.
Everybody is pressuring to do another round.
Go day, go day, go day.
Okay, I'm starting. End the madness.
Go day, go day, go day, go day. Go to R&B silence. The ghost song, no. Nah. I just want to make sure your birthday's okay.
Oh, that looks like maybe 8 p.m. Central will be the Lethal Company then.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
Go day, go day, go day.
Okay, you can go now. Have you seen my box of zebra cakes that I had over by my desk?
You want me to go get yours?
I had 2 boxes.
Which one right here?
Yeah. Okay, so that was my box. Rip. Goku is selecting a scenario.
Are you on juice?
I drank it all. Oh, you didn't really leave me a lot in here.
Huh?
You didn't leave me much in here. Or I don't need another drink. I'm the dork. The darkest. Talking about my zebra cake.
What about a zebra dick?
Oh, Kara got me some zebra cakes for my birthday because I wanted them. He accidentally got.
Yikes.
Yeah, he accidentally got the rolls, the zebra cake rolls, and I like the little flat ones, not the roll ones, but the roll ones are good too. Scenario incoming. Moku the cat squid starts looking at you with a comically sized mallet. You ate their last salmon and they are furious. Now it's really having to think about it. Is this stuck judging for you, Don?
Yes. There goes.
Wow, I had to think. Sparkle tries to. Take this cat squid in their arms, lovingly gazing into their eyes, nuzzling their noses together as they whisper, "Do it, no balls," to them. Damn. Mocha the cat squid, feeling confused by Sparkle's unexpected display of affection, hesitates for a moment with their mallet raised. In that split second, a wave of understanding washes over Moku and they drop the mallet with a soft purring sound. Wow. Squid cat to squid cat communication. Damn.
Fucking God.
Azrael tries to give them a lifetime supply of salmon in return. On top of that, Azrael offers Moku's pick of the latest Tony Kensa branded gear for free. Azrael's generous offer seemed to appease Moku, whose mallet-wielding fury slowly subsides as they eyes the proposed deal. With a mixture of surprise and gratitude, Moku accepts Azrael's proposal, and their massive mallet is replaced with a Tony Kensa branded fishing rod. As the two part ways, Azrael breathes a sigh of relief, having narrowly avoided a crushing blow and instead secured a new ally in the underwater world. Dawn's part jellyfish. Dawn's a jellyfish, moth, cat, alien hybrid. Non-binary tries to instantiate 3 identical replacement salmon using force of will and an arcane ritual. Continue, please. Oh.
Potentially a Digimon in the future if I ever stop being lazy.
Despite non-binary's attempts, best efforts, and concentration, the arcane ritual fails and to produce any salmon. Moku the cat squid becomes even angrier, lifting their mallet high above them. With a swift swing, they strike non-binary down, unable to forgive the theft of their last meal. Moku tries to apologize and offer to buy them more salmon. Moku offers Moku salmon. Moku's eyes narrowed, their pupils glowing with an otherworldly intensity as they gazed at the player. You think a simple apology and a few coins can make up for stealing my last salmon? They hissed, their voice like a rusty gate. The player's attempt at a peace offering was met with a brutal swing of Moku's mallet, and they crumpled to the ground, their lives slipping away with the last breath. Kenji tries to offer them a tuna from the hit series Dragon Ball Z. Those things are enormous and worth way more than salmon. Kenji's attempt to appease Moku with the enormous tuna from Dragon Ball Z only enrages them further. Moku's comically sized mallet comes crashing down, striking Kenji with a force that sends them flying across the room. As Kenji struggles to get back to their feet, Moku delivers a crushing blow, ending their life with a resounding thud. I can bite my zebra cake. Tones tries to use an even bigger mallet. Ava Mecha swings much more sizable hammer and even more comically than theirs. Tones confidently swings their massive hammer, but Moku the cat squid is not intimidated. With a wicked grin, Moku unleashes a barrage of attacks with their comically oversized mallet, striking Tones with precision and force. In the end, Tones' mech succumbs to their relentless assault and they meet a gruesome demise. Size isn't everything, you know. Swag tries to run past a wall as they take out their paint and brush. They paint a road as they hide behind the wall and wait for them to run into said painted wall. Swag quickly paints a road on the wall, hoping to distract Moku the cat squid and lead them into a trap. However, Moku's comically sized mallet proves to be too much for the wall and they burst through it with ease. Hello, Kool-Aid Man. Swag's plan backfires and rip. It fast-forwarded. What the hell? Breakfast tries to vomit the salmon, surprisingly still whole, but instead of being raw, it's cooked. Turns out their body heats a cooked salmon. Interesting. As Moku the cat squid approaches with their comically sized mallet, the player, Breakfast Y, tries to appease him by vomiting cooked salmon. However, the unexpected twist of the salmon being cooked by their body heat only seems to enrage Moku further. The player's attempt at peace offering ultimately fails short, and Moku's wrath proves fatal, striking Breakfast with the mallet and ending their life. Oh. Kenji, you up. See, I knew offering everybody else who failed with the peace offering only offered one fish in return. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to do the lifetime supply, ain't I? And some brand new gear.
All I had to say was do it, no balls.
Oh, you are also like technically cat squid adjacent, so. Plain to me. Thank you. Nice to meet you too. Non-binary tries to reach out to it using the last remnants of strength granted by their ghost friend narrational entity and save them. As non-binary reaches out to the god of death, fueled by the souls of both humans and monsters, their weak and exhausted body trembles with effort. The god's cold, calculating gaze falls upon them, and with a swift and merciless motion, the knife slices through the air, ending non-binary's pitiful attempt to save the god's last victim. The god's dark power consumes non-binary's soul, adding it to its eternal collection. Damn. I try to do nothing, because I am said god of death, and as a god of death, I cannot be killed themselves. Therefore, nothing happens. Azrael's attempt to do nothing only serves to make the god of death who sees it as a challenge to their authority. It completely ignored the rest of my sentence. Fuck it. With a swift and merciless stroke, the god plunges their knife into Azrael's chest, ending their futile attempt to defy mortality. Azrael's soul is consumed by the god, another addition to the never-ending harvest of souls. So the only thing that can kill an Azrael is another Azrael. Damn. Sparkle tries to... Shoryuken! Sparkle's attempt at a Shoryuken was met with a mix of confusion and amusement from the god of death, who saw fit to end their mortal life with a swift and merciless slash of their knife. As the blade bit deep into Sparkle's flesh, they felt their life force ebb away, their vision fading to black. The god of death then turned to face the next poor soul, their hunger for soul still unsatisfied.
Well, at least I amused them before I died.
Moku tries to... I'm ready to use my cat-like agility. I come up to the deity, narrow my eyes. Do it, no balls, he said, repeating a familiar phrase. Moku confidently taunts the god of death, displaying their cat-like agility as they approach the deity with fearless determination. The god hesitates for a moment, surprised by Moku's audacity, before plunging the knife towards them with a deadly intent. In a swift movement, Moku dodges the attack and manages to disarm the god, turning the tables and emerging victorious in the showdown. Damn. Kenji tries to use the power of determination and friendship in an attempt to eventually soothe their heart and make friends.
No balls prevails.
Kenji's determination and friendship may have been admirable, but it was not enough to sway the god of death's judgment. As they continued to plead their case, the god's knife seemed to grow heavier in their hands, its blade glinting with an otherworldly light. Ooh, pretty. In the end, it was not a gentle hand that took Kenji's life, but a swift and merciless one, their soul joining the countless others that fueled the god's power. Tones tries to... I'm busy. I'm playing checkers with myself. I could probably use a second player, though. Tones' attempt to downplay the situation by making a joke falls flat with the god of death, who is unfazed by their attempts at humor. Instead, the god of death takes offense at their insolence and plunges the knife deep into Tones' chest. As they take their last breath, Tones realizes that they should have taken the situation more seriously. Never tell a god of death you're busy. Wag tries to ask them to play a game of chess for the knife. I set up a stalemate so neither of us get the knife. As Swag and Watch proposed a game of chess for the knife, the god of death, intrigued by the player's audacity, agreed to the terms. However, the player's carefully crafted stalemate ensured neither party gained the upper hand, and the god of death, unimpressed, took offense to being outmaneuvered. In a fit of rage, the god of death plunged the knife into Swag and Watch's chest, ending their existence. Really just up and said, "Fuck your rules."
Your age.
Breakfast tries to give it a hug, whispering in its ears that it's not alone anymore. As Breakfast attempted to hug the god of death, it was met with a mixture of confusion and disdain. The god's cold, calculating gaze pierced through Wyatt's attempt at affection, and with a swift motion, it raised its knife, ready to deliver the final blow. With a flick of its wrist, the blade descended, ending Wyatt's futile attempt at connection and condemning them to eternal darkness. Damn. Tony, you up? What gauntlet are you sending us through? May the odds be ever in your favor. I think Frisk did a little bit more than that. Like the whole refusing to die part. You're tasked with cutting a red wire or a green wire. One wire triggers a pleasant smell, the other an acidic explosion. The clock is ticking.
Time. Go faster.
Baptist tries to. Luckily, before they cut the wrong wire, their future self tells them to cut the green wire. Baptist's impulsive decision to rely on luck and their future self's advice ultimately led to their demise. As they hesitantly reached for the green wire, the acidic explosion engulfed them, releasing a pungent and deadly cloud. Their screams were drowned out by the sound of a countdown timer as the last seconds of their life ticked away. Azrael tries to cut the wire they are directed to cut by the expert bomb disposal technician of 32 years experience. A pleasant scent fills the air. Azrael, guided by the expert bomb disposal technician, successfully cuts the wire that triggers a pleasant scent, avoiding the acidic explosion. The scent fills the air and Azrael takes a deep breath, feeling relieved. However, it is too late and the bomb's countdown timer, what the fuck? Ultimately leading to a devastating explosion? You never said anything about a countdown timer,
I mean, it does say the clock is ticking, and it doesn't say that it will disable the bomb if you cut the smelling one.
Oh my god.
So technically speaking, that doesn't disarm the bomb.
Oh, this is bullshit. I'll let you read this for a little bit. I want to eat my zebra cake.
Sparklemon tries to. I leave the area outside of the device's explosion range, choosing not to cut any wires. Someone else's problem, not mine. Sparklemon's attempt to distance themselves from the situation ultimately proves futile as the acidic explosion engulfs the area, showering them with corrosive particles that burn their skin and lungs. Damn, didn't get away in time. Despite their initial plan to avoid involvement, they were caught off guard and unable to escape the blast's radius. In the end, the explosion proved too much for Sparklemon to overcome, and they succumbed to their injuries. Boo fucking womp. Explosion radius too big.
I love how I succeeded on the wire task, and yet the countdown got me. Non-binary tries to carefully don both a hazmat and a bomb deflection suit, sets up a blast shield, and then cuts both wires. Non-binary's elaborate precautions seemed foolproof, but the acidic explosion was too powerful even for their bomb deflection suit to contain. The blast ripped through their hazmat suit, exposing them to the corrosive substance. Unfortunately, the explosion was too intense, and non-binary's suit was no match for the deadly chemicals, resulting in a gruesome demise. So it would have worked if it wasn't an acidic bomb. Unlucky for you, it was an acidic bomb. Kenji tries to walk away from both wires. Their health insurance doesn't cover this, and there's no labor laws to prevent this from going south. Kenji's attempt to walk away from both wires was futile. As they turned their back, they failed to notice the countdown timer reaching 0 and the acidic explosion rocked the room. Kenji's screams were drowned out by the stench of burning flesh, their fate sealed by hesitation. I think we're about time for this. Tones McGones tries to... Oh, go ahead, Don.
I like how several of us tried walking away and it's all failed so far.
I'm still miffed that I successfully disarmed the wire task But because Tony put the clock is ticking at the end of his prompt, it fucking was like, well, you disarmed the wires, but it didn't disable the countdown timer. Sucks to be you. Tones tries to set the device down and walk away. I'm not actually trapped anywhere. Why would I stick around here? Something so dangerous. I leave. Tones decides to play it safe and walk away from the dangerous device rather than risking their life by cutting a wire. As they make their escape, a sudden beeping noise catches their attention, followed by a blinding flash of light. The device explodes in a violent burst of acidic chemicals, causing severe damage to the surrounding area. Yeah, walking away doesn't work. Swag cuts a wire as it cuts away to someone else eating a burrito. As that person finishes the burrito, it cuts back to me as I'm fine. Tries the whole jump cut. Swag and Watcher's attempt to cut a wire was interrupted by their sudden fascination with somebody else's burrito. As they continue to watch, they failed to notice the countdown timer reaching 0 and the acidic explosion that ensued. Unfortunately, the blast was too intense, and Swag and Watcher's careless distraction proved to be their downfall. No one survived. Oh Lord, what's Fanny going to have us go through? After this round, I think we're probably going to switch to Lethal Company. At which point I'll probably give people a few minutes to set up mods and everything, because I do have a mod pack prepared for this. We are playing modded, and I have more company installed as well.
Company.
The only rules are the ones I'm imposing, and the rule I'm imposing is keep it PG-13, please. Other than that, you type what you can type within 140 characters, and then the AI decides whether that's good enough. Sometimes you can even technically succeed and yet fail at the same time, as me and Tony both learned. Tony got consumed by darkness of the dark forest after crushing the man-eating girl, and I succumbed to the bomb because I defused the wires, but the countdown still counted. You are pulled onto stage at a Hatsune Miku concert. You have to impress Miku or else she will launch you into space. There is task fail successfully moments in this game, yes. Judging. Your fate has been sealed. Tones tries to. I take the microphone and I sing my heart out, baby. Viva Las Vegas. Tones Dragon steps up to the microphone and belts out their best rendition of Viva Las Vegas, pouring their heart and soul into the performance. The crowd goes wild, cheering and dancing along to the music. Hatsune Miku is so impressed by their talent and energy that she spares them from being launched into space. Congrats, Tony.
How many of us are actually going to pull off the performance?
Azriel tries to expertly sing and dance to her hit song Viva Happy, written by Michi M. Azriel in this scenario is an expert vocalist and choreographer. Azurill's expert vocals and choreography mesmerized the crowd, including Hatsune Miku, who was impressed by their performance. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause as Azurill took a triumphant bow, and Miku nodded in approval. With a smile, she waved her hand, and the spaceship that had been hovering above the stage dissipated, as Azurill was spared from being launched into space. Viva, viva, happy. Viva, viva, happy. Do-do-do-do. Sparkle tries to bust out Ido's new Genesis from One Piece film Red, all striking the audience into a roaring applause. Hashtag winning. Sparklemon's attempt to awe the audience with Ido's new Genesis from One Piece film Red falls flat as the crowd remains silent, confused by the sudden shift in music. Miku's expression turns from intrigued to annoyed, and she raises her hand, summoning a giant spaceship that descends from the ceiling. Sparkle is sucked into the ship and blasted off into space, their fate a distant memory as the concert continues without a hitch.
Damn simps.
Non-Binary tries to pull out their concealed prop leak and perform a truly heartfelt a cappella cover of Leak Spin. Hopefully this doesn't enrage her further. As Non-Binary pulls out the prop leak and begins to sing, Miku's eyes widen in confusion and then annoyance. The a cappella cover of Leak Spin is unique. Wow, it really did the period like pause, like it's unique. But it's clear that Miku was not impressed. With a flick of her wrist, a small rocket blasts the non-binary into the stratosphere, leaving them to a lonely fate in the vast expanse of space. Kenji tries to. I performed my best impression of the head of Domino's, performing the Domino's Hatsune Miku crossover, like he was really into that. Kenji's performance to the Domino's Hatsune Miku crossover is met with confusion and disapproval from the audience, including Miku herself. The awkward and cringe-worthy display only serves to further anger Miku, who promptly launches Kenji into space as a punishment for their failed attempt to impress her. Swag tries to invite her to Domino's, where she can try the new cheesy bread and the new New York style large pizza, all at their payment. Swag's attempt to impress Miku by inviting her to Domino's fell flat. Miku, unimpressed by the mundane suggestion, launched Swag into space as a punishment for their lack of creativity. As Swag floated away, they realized too late that Miku's offer to try the new cheesy bread and the new New York style large pizza was just a cruel joke. Breakfast tries to literally turn into God and obliterate Miku for putting them into this insane scenario. Breakfast's attempts to turn into a god and obliterate Miku was met with a mixture of shock and amusement from the crowd. Miku, unfazed by the sudden display of divine power, simply smiled and conjured a portal to space, beckoning Breakfast to step into the void. As Breakfast hesitated, Miku's portal began to pull them in, and with a final burst of energy, they were sucked into the unknown expanse, never to be seen again. Turns out,
I got hit with the dead zone.
just because you have divine power doesn't mean Miku doesn't. I love how the two ones that won were songs that included Viva in it. Viva Las Vegas and Viva Happy. Viva Las Vegas, do-do-do-do, Viva Las Vegas. Viva, Viva Las Vegas, do-do-do-do. Your elderly next door neighbor is hell-bent on killing you. Elvis and Miku dated in high school or something. I could see Miku being a big Elvis fan. Oh my god, Elvis! I can't do a high-pitched voice. Miku is a really high-pitched voice. Tones tries to call the police? Question mark. Tones quickly dials the emergency number before they can even speak. The elderly neighbor bursts into the room, a crazed look on their eyes. A scuffle ensues, and despite their best efforts to defend themselves, Tones is overpowered and pinned to the ground. My computer's lagging. Give me a second.
As the neighbor raises a deadly object above their head, Tone's screams are silenced forever.
It's not gonna.
Did not survive.
It's not gonna matter much if you read or I read it if it's lagging. OBS, what's going on?
Finishing the prompt in case it tries to move on. Oh, your stream is actually like...
Yeah, like it's... something is like eating CPU. Let's try quitting you. Oh, didn't... Oh, there we go. Yeah, OBS just does not play well with other software sometimes. I need to figure out what's going on with it. Azrael tries to consume their soul as the ultimate god of hyperdeath. With a swing of their ethereal blade, the elderly neighbor is reduced to nothingness. Azrael's attempt to consume the elderly neighbor's soul as the ultimate god of hyperdeath proved to be a catastrophic failure. Fuck. With the swing of their ethereal blade, Azrael reduced the neighbor to nothingness, but in doing so, they inadvertently unleashed a dark and malevolent force that began to consume their own soul. Jesus Christ. The AI really went, the elderly neighbor, turns out they were they were possessed. I opened Pandora's box. As the darkness spread, Azrael's very essence began to unravel as they succumbed to the void, their existence erased from the fabric of reality. Shit. Task failed successfully. Sparkle tries to... I hit my elderly next door neighbor with a Hadouken, Shoryuken, and Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, and end it with a Pokeball Go. As Sparkle unleashes a barrage of fierce martial arts moves and Pokemon attacks on their elderly neighbor, the neighbor dodges and weaves with surprising agility. However, Sparkle finally managed to land a direct hit with a final Pokeball, trapping the neighbor inside. With a victorious smirk, Sparkle watches as the elderly neighbor fades into a pixelated oblivion. Rip. Neon Binary tries to quietly pack the most important bits of their luggage and go on a last-minute secret train ride to the next day over. Neon Binary manages to quietly pack their most important belongings and sneak away from their elderly neighbor's clutches. They board a secret train to the next day over, hoping to escape the danger lurking next door. As the train pulls out of the station, a sense of relief washes over them, knowing they have successfully evaded their neighbor's deadly intentions. Wow. Kenji tries to... reprogram the VCR and log them out of their emails. This technological feat confuses them and they sob on the floor. Probably. Kenji's attempt to reprogram the VCR and log out of their neighbor's emails only serves to further confuse them as they begin to sob uncontrollably on the floor. The neighbor, enraged by this perceived betrayal, storms over to Kenji's house and brutally attacks them, ultimately resulting in their demise. The once peaceful neighborhood is now forever marred by the tragic events that unfolded. Swag tries to offer them to take them to a Miku concert where you can see people get launched into space for free. Nice callback. Swag's bizarre suggestion only seemed to fuel their neighbor's rage. They became even more agitated, snatching a nearby gardening tool and charging towards Swag. In a desperate attempt to deflect the attack, Swag tried to reason with them, but it was too late as they succumbed to their neighbor's tragic wrath. Breakfast tries to push him down the stairs, breaking their arms, legs, hips, skull, spines, rib, and shins. Surprisingly, he's still alive. Breakfast's attempt to push their elderly neighbor next door down the stairs proves to be futile as the neighbor's determination to kill them is unwavering. Despite sustaining multiple life-threatening injuries, their neighbor manages to crawl towards them with a knife in hand. In a final desperate attempt to defend themselves, Breakfast is unfortunately overpowered and succumbs to their neighbor's lethal attack. Turns out you didn't want them alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's tying.
tie break. Less characters used to survive, so you typed less than I did.
Haha.
My responses were all pushing towards the 140 character limit.
Haha. Nerd.
Well then, that was fun. I think I want to do that more often. I'm going to go ahead and get it.
That's actually a pretty fun game.
Yee. I think I'm going to switch it over to Lethal Company now. We are playing modded. I recommend you use R2 Mod Manager or something of the sort. But, well, first of all, let me switch it back over to chat. And now I have a command for this set up if it's working. If you type !LC, and I'll pin it to the top of the chat too. It pulls up both the mod pack code and the link for instructions on setting up R2 Mod Manager. Just a note, if you've installed Lethal Company somewhere besides your C drive, follow the section later on in the guide about pointing R2 Mod Manager to where Lethal Company is found. Hello, Elite. With that, though, I'm going to take like a 5-10 minute break just to freshen up and to get everything set up for Lethal Company.